Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video and welcome to a match preview in this year's AFL final series. This one is of the second semi-final that has been held tonight between Port Adelaide and Hawthorn. Before I start, my apologies for not doing it, for only producing one bit of content, or one production of content throughout week one of the finals. I was just, I was planning to, but unfortunately, tiredness from work and that took its toll, and all I just wanted to do was just, but I will do a bit of catch up work. I will do some match review stuff, probably over the preliminary final week. Or maybe grand final week. Who knows? But yeah. So start off with that. My apologies for that, but I will catch up on that. So let's move on to this. So obviously, different contrasts over week one for both teams, for both Port and the Hawks. Start off with, of course, Port Adelaide. Of course, it was a terrible performance. I'm just gonna spoil it because I haven't done the match review yet. But anyways, but it was a terrible performance. It's absolute. They on receiving end of an absolute smashing at the hands of Geelong on their home turf, and it's pretty much it bring extra doubt into Port's season. While on the other hand, the next night afterwards, on a Friday night, Hawthorn were magnificent in their game against the Bulldogs. They got jumped early, but eventually their small forwards in Ginnivan and of course the wizard in Nick Watson did their magic and celebratory best, and this as well from Jack Ginnivan, which is my celebration of the year. Let's no doubt about that. But I think for me, it was a great, and it was a performance where if they produce that performance again tonight, there might be a chance that one of the two coaches' futures at a club might be in jeopardy. And I think I've just given that away, haven't I? Haven't I? But there has been a late change to that lineup, which I'll get to with the lineups very, very shortly. So, as I said, obviously, straight sets exit. That's a big mouthful to say. Is or pretty much doing in Melbourne. It's pretty much on the cards for Port Adelaide here. Obviously, they were bundled out in straight sets last year, of course, losing to Brisbane and then losing to GWS, the two teams which went on to, of course, make a prelim, obviously, with Brisbane on the other hand making the grand final, but getting close to Collingwood. We don't need to talk about that, but yeah. So obviously, because the power with the double chance, they of course they go to Hawthorn, which they bet as well. They probably figured the last time these two teams met, they played in probably the most insane finish, probably not only the season but of any game ever. I mean, with Darcy Byrne-Jones toe poke to kick the goal to seal the 1-point win with like 2 seconds to spare. It was just insane. And I think they came from what? I think it was 40 odd points down at 3/4 time. I think it was 41 at 3/4 time. They came back to end up winning the game by a point. Really, we could argue basically if Hawthorn had won that game, we could probably this game would not have happened. We probably would have seen Hawthorn probably finish at a higher placing than what they did, which was 7th at the end of the day. But anyways, so the game, of course, at Adelaide Oval, and of course what happened. Of course, so the stats that matter. So obviously, last week they conceded 75 points from clearance chains, which was the third most that they've conceded since 2010, even before Ken Hinkley was in charge. And they gave up 66 points from clearances, where Jordan Sweet was in the ruck. So, and just scoring three goals free themselves, which is 21 points themselves. So, yeah, so not good as well. And also their shot on goal accuracy as well is not great too. They're at 42.5% in terms of their goal accuracy this season, which is dead last in the competition there. While Hawthorn, on the other hand, they are great in some aspects here, which is the ability, of course, their ability to move from inside 50. It's in the last 4 matches they've won. They've won the inside 50 count by 21.5 a game, which is number 1 in the league over the last 4 games. Their quick ball movement catalyst, obviously, they've 25.5% of the time their marks have gone and played on. So which is also ranked number 1 in the league as well. And also, to surprise me looking at this here, they've only lost ground balls, only lost the ground balls, ground ball gets stat only 3 times all season, which is again number 1 in the league. So yeah. Who am I putting the pressure on for Port Adelaide? It's going to be Ken Hinkley, because if they lose the exact same way they did last week against the Catters, this could be the last time we see Ken Hinkley as coach of Port Adelaide. I'm even though he said, I'm contracted, yada yada. We all know how Koshy and the boys perform at Port Adelaide. They want success, and even though it want final success, if they're not bringing it, get the F out of here. And that's what I think. I think for me. I think for me here that they need to bounce back from this, and judging and to be honest, if it's true, if for 3 quarters, in the last time these two teams met, the Port Adelaide, Hawthorn actually outplayed Port Adelaide, then it might be the same here. But maybe Hawthorn might learn from that and basically finish off games. Which they have done. In recent weeks as well. But I said I think this could be the chance that Ken Hinkley might. This could be the last time that Ken Hinkley might coach Port Adelaide. I'm just saying, if they lose by, let's say, 9 goals plus, that could be the possibility. For Hawthorn, I agree with what anyone's saying. I think Jack Gitterman, he's talked the talk this week. He talked the talk. He walked the walk twice last week. Of course, obviously being at one of the more popular pubs in around Richmond on, I think it was on Thursday, I believe it was, before 24 hours before the game last Friday night. And then obviously end up producing one of the best celebrations I've ever seen someone do in doing this. I thought him doing this against Collingwood was great. That was just next level celebration right there. That was just great from him. And then obviously he sent in an Instagram post or a comment on Brody Grundy's Instagram earlier in the week, and he commented saying, "See you in 14 days," which some people might say, it's a bit cocky, but in my opinion, I've started to like him. I didn't like, to be honest, I didn't like him when he was at Collingwood, because obviously he was playing for Collingwood, most obviously, and obviously most of his best performances for Collingwood were against Essendon. Let's put it that way. But since he's gone to Hawthorn, I'm starting to actually like him, like his personality, because I know it's because now he's not at Collingwood anymore. But I'm starting to. And of course, most of these Hawthorn guys would do that. It would probably do things like that, but they back it up, and I'm sure Jack Giddens will back it up definitely. He was out in the pub on Thursday night, and the next time he had 15 touches and a goal. So obviously, he was very good on that case. But yeah, so it was pretty good on that front too, and yeah, so let's get to the lineup in now. There is a late change for Port Adelaide in this lineup, because Big Charlie himself, Charlie Dixon, has been ruled out of the match tonight with he failed a fitness test, and also following Ryan Burton also being out of the side, also failing a fitness test during the week. So that means both of them are going to be out. So the ins for them would be Josh Sin, Todd Marshall, and Will Lorenz, and of course the outs being Burton, Dixon, and Jed McEntee. So lineups here. So from the fullback line, you got Brendan Zerk-Thatcher, Aliyah, and Miles Berkman. In the halfback line, you got Lockie Jones, Jace Burgoyne, and Josh Sin. In the center of the park, you got Travis Boak and Willem Drew on the wings, and Ollie Wines in the center. On the half forward line, you got Willie Rioli, Darcy Byrne-Jones, the Hawthorn heartbreaker from the last time round, and Jackson Mead. And the full forward line, you got Mitch Georgiades, Todd Marshall, and Asaba Radaglia. I was surprised that they didn't put him back last week, again, especially when things got out of hand real quickly for Port. So I wonder if it's the same thing that Ken Hinkley might maybe slot him back, because the back line with just Zerk-Thatcher, Aliyah, and Bergman is probably it might get away with it with some of the guys like Marbia Chol and Cal Shadir, even though Cal Shadir was fantastic in the elimination final against the Dogs. But I think that extra tall down back would probably do bits, or not, who knows with that. In the followers, you got Jordan Sweet in the ruck with Jason Horne-Francis and Connor Rozee in the middle as well. On the interchange, you got Logan Evans. Zach Butters is in the side after there was concerns he had injury to his ribs. but apparently it was come out from the club that it was bruised ribs instead of a fracture or something like that, and he will play. Quinton Narkle and Francis Evans there as well. And then obviously Hawthorn, only the one change obviously with Jai Sarong coming in to replace Sam Frost, who was injured in the elimination final against the Western Bulldogs. But the lineup is as follows: in the fullback line, you got Blake Hardwick, Jai Sarong, and Jarman Impey. In the halfback line, you got Massimo D'Ambrosio, James Sicily, and Josh Weddle. You got in the center you got at Park. You got Carl Amon and Harry Morrison on the wings with Dylan Moore in the middle. On the half forward line, you got Jack Gunston, Marbior Chull, and Connor Nash. And in the full forward line, you got Jack Ginnivan, Kel Shadir, and Nick the Wizard Watson. Oh, I can't wait to see him running around in the forward line tonight. In the forward line, you got Lloyd Meek. Some people it came out as Mick, but it's Meek. James Warple and Jai Newcomb, probably, who was BOG definitely in the game last week against the Dogs. On the interchange, you got Jack Scrimshaw, Josh Ward, Finn McGuinness, and Connor McDonald there. So that is obviously both of the lineups. So it leads to the predictions here, and you know what? I think that I think the Hawks will continue, I just gotta say the box office Hawks are gonna continue this unbelievable run, and we'll do a GWS from last year and go through to the pre. I think yeah, and I think GWS they finished 7th as well, and they made the prelim. So yeah, so I think the Hawks will win that one. And you know what? I think I've got this bold prediction here. I've got two of them here. I think Hawthorn will win by 8 goals or more, and Ken Hinkley 2 days on Monday will get the sack. Straight up, I think it will happen. Because if it's true the way that Koshy and the boys run things over there at Alberton Oval, he'll be out of there. He'll be out of there quick, smart, and Josh Carr will take over as coach. And my second bold prediction, I think the Wizard is in for a big night tonight. I think the Wizard, Nick Watson, I think he'll kick a bag. I think he'll kick 5 in this one. He was close to it on Friday night with 4. I think he'll get 5. He'll get 5 wickets. 5 wickets. 5 goals, I should say. I'm already in cricket mode already. It's not even the freaking summer started. I don't know why. But anyways, but yeah. So those are my predictions. I think Hawthorn will win by 8 goals plus. Kennington get the sack on Monday, and finally, Nick Watson, the Wizard, to get 5 goals or more. Who knows? But anyways, but yeah. So like this video. Share this to anybody who is a Hawthorn fan or a Port Adelaide fan. Comment down below what are your predictions on this game, or if you're watching this after the game, did you get your predictions right? And one last thing, somewhere down there, click on the big red button which is labelled subscribe. It really does help me out quite a bit there. But until next time, guys, I'll see yous all Later.